Hello, guys. It's me, Emma, the Nightmare Sands guy, guys. Today, I'm just going to be talking about something that has been on my mind lately, and recently there's been a drama that has caught my attention. So, you might be asking what this is. Well, there's this Death Battle inspired versus show called Realm of Gods, I think is what it's called. And they have been caught in some controversy. I'm just going to show you what happened. This might take a little bit. So, hold on, I'm trying to show it. All right. Da, 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 da. What's up, Jaden? Or Multiverse Sonic? Where can I fucking find it? Could have swore I had it. All right. Da, da, da. I've been doing good. So I think I'm just gonna be showing this if I can, or I'll just talk about it. So Realm of Gods. Realm of Gods were caught being biased. I want to show the image. I don't know how to, but they blatantly admit they made a video called Springtrap versus Junko and Oshima, and they were caught being biased against Springtrap. Basically, the entire episode was made out of spite for FNAF. And as you can tell, that fucking sucks for so many reasons. I have the image. I'm just trying to show it. It was on Discord. They were caught being biased. Yes. Yes. All right. I'm just gonna be borrowing this guy's thing. Look right here. Let me add it. Look right here. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see, guys? What's up? Yeah, these guys were being biased against Springtrap in their Springtrap versus Junko video. Yeah, that's basically it. They rigged it just because they hate Springtrap. So, and as you can tell, this sucks. And I have three problems. This is one of three problems with versus shows for me. Is that one, they're disingenuous and favor a certain character over another character. I can use many examples of Death Battle for this. Junko Anashima from Danganronpa. So yeah, I can use multiple examples of Death Battle of versus shows being biased and against other characters for no reason. They're dishonest. Secondly, this sucks because versus shows are basically the most popular power scaling form of media of all time. So they are seen as the biggest sources for this, which is a problem because of how disingenuous they can be. And my third problem with versus shows is because of this. Most people are going to take versus shows as reliable sources. The problem with this is that this opens up an agenda, or is just open to using dishonest information instead of using the actual source material for both sides, and only appealing to what versus shows have to say. So yeah, it kind of sucks because I heard that Realm of Gods was being toxic about it too, so that's even worse. They're being dishonest and toxic. Can you see why I kind of dislike versus shows? Is there any new comments? No. Not count my versus series, not talking about that though, since it's basing it off of. Yeah, no. I know that your series isn't biased, Drexulent. You don't really do power scaling topics. You're just doing your own thing and it works. Good for you, buddy. I'm just talking about most versus shows and the drama between a specific one called Realm of Gods. Glad I was able to bring that to light. Finally talking about my problems with these kind of shows. And yeah, It's obviously gonna suck. It's obviously gonna suck for FNAF fans who are wondering who will win and then get biased results. Death Battle is a versus show, unless if you're talking about yours. I don't know. Do you want me to watch the episode of... Do you want me to watch that Junko versus Springtrap episode that I was talking about where they were being biased? They also just purposely leave stuff out, which is just annoying. Okay, I'll pull it up. This reminds me of stuff like, I'm trying to think of an example of the Hulk versus Godzilla death battle, where they purposely left out Marvel Godzilla and barely mentioned Godzilla in Hell. And they tried saying, Marvel Godzilla wasn't canon, even though there's multiple statements of him being canon. And Marvel Godzilla literally one-shotted Hulk off screen. So... Okay. Let's try pulling this up. I have him at multi. Some people have him at outer, but I don't agree with that. Let's react to this. All right. Here it is. Exactly. They didn't even mention FNAF World in the video, by the way. FNAF World is a canon game. And the books are canon too. They barely mentioned the books and left out a lot of hacks that Springtrap has, which I can go over later in this stream. Right now, let's just watch this shit. Okay. It makes sense because it's a prequel to FNAF 3. It's basically Happiest Day. Not to mention, there's literal references to FNAF World in other games. So that's how it's canon. And Scott straight up said himself. Let's get into this.
The suffering of society. It brings about plenty of emotions, fascinating and empowering those who reach for its call.
Whether it be agony or despair, humanity will take the...
Can I just say that I hate this matchup too? Like, I genuinely don't get why people think Springtrap versus Junko is a good fight. I genuinely don't like it. Yeah, an arcade game could work, but yeah, it's just a prequel to FNAF 3. Yeah, the literal connection is that, oh, it's mascot horror and they represent a corrupted feeling. Those are the only two connections. I'm not gonna lie, Springtrap versus Bendy is a better matchup.
fall when it comes to these supernatural serial killers.
William Afton.
Junko is
Welcome
not
to
supernatural.
Hunt the Slaughter, brought to you by Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Junko Enoshima, headmaster and
Facts.
ultimate despair of Hope's Peak Academy.
For this match, we will be taking most sources for Afton, using media such as the books and the movie as secondary material.
I showed later why this isn't true and how they were being biased beyond belief. And we're gonna see later on, I think, that they barely use the books and barely mention any of the abilities Springtrap has. I'm also sure they made biased calculations. Let's keep watching.
With a prime focus on the games. While Junko will be getting all mainline Danganronpa games, as well as the anime as primary material, with the manga serving as secondary material when applicable. I'm Aqua, the mouse with the vision.
And I'm
That's the
Max,
person.
host with the free time.
Aqua. Guys, look at Aqua. She's the person who admitted herself that she was being biased against Springtrap. She's the person who literally made this entire video out of spite for FNAF. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
You all voted, and it's up to us to decide a victor in the realm of gods.
At least the animation looks cool.
It's the 1980s. Kids around the world have fallen in love with the newest sensation,
Yep.
Freddy Fazbear and Friends.
This animatronic quartet had numerous adventures and even their own pizza establishment to bring joy to children across the globe.
A place where family
Oh
and
my
fun
god,
come
get to
life.
the fucking
Nothing
point.
could ever possibly go wrong. Oops.
Despite what the corporate suits at Fazbear Entertainment want you to believe, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was a place of tragedy.
They're gonna get the
CEO
logo.
and businessman William Afton was just a normal family man to the naked eye, raising a family consisting of his lovely daughter Elizabeth and 2 sons, creating Fazbear Entertainment alongside his best friend Henry Emily. But nothing is quite as it seems, as Afton was more than a mere man. He was a monster.
Afton was always infatuated with the concept of agony, a substance tied to the negative emotion that bonds the spirits of angered individuals to objects, making them haunted.
It's
and
also-
possessed. With Afton,
I think it's stated somewhere to be metaphysical. I don't know. I don't. I'm pretty sure Mikura has, or whatever their name is, has a scan for it.
wanting to test his
I can pull it
substance
up
by
later.
luring attendees of Fazbear's into the back room with a yellow bunny suit, then brutally killing and stuffing their remains into animatronic suits that he himself built. One of these very victims being none other than Henry's daughter, Charlotte.
These murders were eventually discovered, leading to Fazbear's
I'm pretty
complete
sure
shutdown.
Outer.
The public moved on from the tragedy, but his victims did not, possessing the very same animatronics.
Or wait, I don't know.
Roaming and
I'll talk
terrorizing
about
the
later
vendors
after
that came
this.
to watch over the location. With these loose ends, Afton decided to destroy these animatronics once and for all. Unfortunately for him, these angered souls confronted him in the very same establishment.
I actually
he
want to talk
killed
about a
them all those
misconception.
years ago.
Let's rewind this. A lot of people use this as Afton being able to one-shot the animatronics in his human form, even though they were caught off guard in an area where they could barely move.
Afton decided to destroy these animatronics once and for all. Unfortunately for him, these angered souls confronted him in the very same establishment he killed them in all those years ago.
To fight back,
That's fine. Just use the books. That's more grounded than FNAF World.
Afton adorned the very same suit he killed them in, only for the sweat and rain sinking through the ceiling to hit the cold metallic contraption, triggering the locks within the suit.
Afton was
Just get to
Springfly.
the fucking point.
Trapped in a suit with his
I do
lungs
not
punctured
care. I
the
know
whole
you
way
guys
out,
are being
Afton
biased.
died. Yet this wasn't the end, as a remnant of his agony permanently bonded Afton to his corpse, turning him into a mechanical beast.
My
A
god.
spring trap to bear torment upon a new set of victims.
Afton's mechanical figure makes him very physically imposing. He could choke humans out with his bare hand, send Mike flying backwards into the air, and should be comparable to Fredbear. whose bite can crush the human skull.
Judging that the child looks around 7 or 8 years old, we can judge their height in meters and then judge the bite distance, getting us to about 244 joules.
Converting the joules to tons of TNT.
Wait, are they using Google? Is this a Google calculator? There's no way. There's no way. Are they using a Google calculator?
This would get out around. Oh.
Afton's one tough son of a bitch, too.
Yeah, no, that's fake. Crushing a skull is usually calculated to wall level, so I'm pretty sure they used a bias calc for that. Oh my god.
Tased and just shrugging it off. And this was before he was dead, too, so that's especially impressive. His suits are even capable of taking gunshots, but not cupcake bites.
Afton is also notorious for his infamous motto, I always come back. Because he means it. Even when his remains are completely destroyed, Afton has the ability to possess other objects.
Yeah.
Then once possessing the Stitch Wraith, an entity.
Notice how they mention this. This is gonna bite them in the ass later on. This is gonna bite them in the ass later on in this video.
Composed of 2 other souls, not just Afton.
Though Afton can also pull pieces apart and combine them into a single entity, becoming the Agony, an entity composed of different infected objects with Afton possessing them. Though Afton's possession isn't perfect, spirits can be exorcised as seen when the dead children were given their happiest day.
I have a friend who can teach you how to pixel calc if that's up your alley.
Violence is in his forte. He can always resort to the goated stabby technique, with Afton often being seen carrying around a kitchen knife he likely kept from the pizzeria. Though Dead by Daylight steps this up a slight bit, giving Afton a fire axe he could toss around.
Though with a supernatural series like this, it's obvious that Afton is more than just a physically intimidating guy. His entire entity is supernatural, with his now ghostly image coming with the ability to make technology and people around him go haywire, with just his sheer presence breaking down those within his vicinity. As seen with the Phantom entities that resemble the OG Freddy crew, though they're entirely ghosts.
Yeah, hallucination manipulation. He also has soul manipulation, technology manipulation. Junko has no counters for these hexes, by the way. Yeah.
Jump scare the Night Guard. Their jump scares can even cause Fazbear Fright's tech to go haywire and the Night Guard having to reset the system.
This mindfucker is likely enhanced by illusion discs, a technology invented by Afton to mess with perception. These discs induce nausea, turn things invisible to the naked eye, and it makes people hallucinate to the point where things that are not real feel real.
Afton's a very smart dude to be able to create something like that. This is also seen in his ability to manipulate his own victims to his whims, with him convincing the original.
Cool, so he has average to genius intelligence.
He also invented the Funtime animatronics, which are designed to perfectly kill children as quickly and violently as possible, as seen in.
I'm gonna mention something they're probably not gonna mention. I think I can pull up scans for this, but I don't know if I can. Springtrap in the books is superior to the Funtimes, who are superior to the main animatronics. The main animatronics can drain the power from the pizzeria, which was calculated to building level, and I don't know. And there's also, yeah, they can take down the Twisted Ones who are able to cause earthquakes. They have like building level to large town level calcs, from my knowledge.
Fazbear Fright story number 3, where Funtime
Nav scaling is complicated.
Being able to freeze, burn, starve, and decapitate children. Thanks, Afton. Real great guy we've got over here.
A web of pain and misery follows him no matter where he goes. When he was found in the original location and set free in Fazbear Frights, The place was lit on fire in an attempt to kill him, though he survived, then found himself at a new establishment, sneaking in and finding a new night guard to torment. But to his annoyance, this was no simple pizzeria. It was a trap, designed to eliminate all of Afton's loose ends, and himself.
Henry, the life of Afton unceremoniously ruined all those
I mean,
years
are you
ago,
biased
alongside
towards
Michael,
characters?
the son who had to pay for his father's mistakes, had come back to end him.
Do you use outliers? Didn't think so.
The building was locked down and burnt asunder. Despite Afton's attempts to escape, the deepest pit of hell opened to swallow him whole, finally terminating the web of lies, suffering, and agony Afton had kept going for decades.
Even in death, Afton evolved beyond just a simple family man. He became a monster. A man
Didn't
who
think
killed
so.
simply for the pleasure and nothing else. His instruments of agony spreading his symphony even decades later.
The legacy of William Afton will forever be a sinister one.
So, did they mention anything from the books? Did they mention anything I just talked about? Guys, did they mention the fact he's superior to the Fun Times? Did they mention the fact that he can outpace a race car? Did they mention FNAF World at all, which is a canon game? Exactly. That's how you can tell they're biased, and they only used one calculation. Oh my god. We are in for a long ride.
Hope's Peak Academy, a shining example of leading the best and brightest of students into their future. Full of the ultimates, students with special talents, like the ultimate detective and even the ultimate fashionista. Nothing could ever possibly go wrong.
They didn't.
The world as we know it is over, plunged into the depths of despair, and only one face can be attributed to this
This is stupid. Like, the plot, like, how Junko's plan works is so fucking stupid. She manipulates a bunch of teenagers, and they just end the world. Like, yeah, it's like they don't even know. She just manipulated a bunch of teens, and together they just built weapons to end the fucking world. It's like, how are these teens able to do this? How was Junko able to successfully manipulate all of them? Don't know, don't care. It's Danganronpa. It is lol so random.
shocking display of torment. Junko Enoshima.
Born as the younger sister to the ultimate soldier, Mukuro Ikasaba, Junko possessed the talent titled the Ultimate Analyst. With her being extremely
I thought she
intelligent,
was the
she
ultimate.
describes being able to analyze someone's thoughts, actions, and movements quickly.
I thought she was the
Hell,
ultimate
some characters
fashionista.
describe her talent as basically precognition. But with a power so useful, came the catch that life for Junko was boring.
With nothing to surprise her, the world became nothing but a nihilistic nightmare, except for one feeling, an insurmountable emotion that only the deepest of dark
What? Yeah.
could emit. Despair.
An unpredictable force of nature, despair engraved through Junko's mind. It's all she could ever want out of the world. And with her super intelligence, she was capable of making that a reality, as she was invited to Hope's Peak to be one of their shining students. This was a mistake.
Junko blackmailed and extorted all of Hope's Peak, using their involvement in the Izuru Kamakura project to incite a large backlash against the Academy, amassing a cult following with her now becoming the ultimate despair.
So she just convinced a bunch of people to riot the fucking streets. She just convinced a lot of people. in the school to destroy the world. Yeah, it makes total sense.
Followed in tow by her remnants of despair, these being students of Class 77B, which were brainwashed using a set of audio cues and a video, with them now under Junko's control to use their ability.
Okay, in the game they were in the anime they were brainwashed. In the game they were fucking manipulated.
For destruction. Alongside that came, of course, Junko's most useful asset, the Teddy Bear of Despair, Monokuma.
Monokuma is a deadly force, with his base model having several different copies lying around in the world thanks to the many factories lying around. Though the main one we're familiar with in the games is for Junko's killing games, serving as the headmaster and the executioner, being able to pummel Leon to death with baseballs, electrify Mondo enough to melt him into butter, and in later entries, Monokuma could deep fry Teruteru in a volcano, burn Korekio alive in a melting pot and then melt his soul, and even toss you into space. Junko and Monokuma know about 20,264 different ways to subject someone to despair, so they're stacked in ways to kill you.
This also comes in handy when it comes to the various other Monokuma units. Siren Monokumas, Beast Monokumas, fucking Ball Monokumas. Clean up an aisle, my underwear.
Monokuma units
What?
aren't just known for their ability to kill you, they're also very strong. The Headmaster unit can match and surpass the likes of the ultimate martial artist Sakura Ogami. And this silly guy, Nekomaru, who literally shit so hard he could blow up his bathroom. 95 tons of TNT, by the way.
That's biased.
What?
Plus, one Monokuma unit known as the Big Bang Monokuma can split clouds coming to about 174 kilotons of TNT.
I genuinely want you guys to prove why these calcs are reliable. I genuinely doubt that they are reliable. Basically. I think I've heard like large town level shit for Junko, but heh.
And no, this isn't only exclusive to that Monokuma, as characters like Genocide Jack could directly match it.
Speaking of Genocide Jack, her totally not girlfriend, Komaru, was capable of dodging a hacking gun point blank. This hacking gun is directly described as firing in an electromagnetic wave, which travels at light speed. And a Monokuma unit could directly...
That's
deflect it,
hypersonic to
giving
like
Monokuma
relativistic at best.
reactions. And this isn't surprising, as Monokuma units can fly into space at super quick speeds.
Using her powerful mechanisms and
I didn't even calculate that.
Junko wanted to bring about despair to the other class at Hope's Peak, setting up a killing game with Monokuma watching over everything, using Mukuro as a decoy posing as herself, which she then promptly killed with a bunch of spikes. Thanks.
Watching as the brightest of students turn to the darkest of despair, killing one another for freedom, it excited her more than anything in the world. Watching
I'm actually
friends
gonna-
and enemies in real time, until it finally...
I'm actually going to list off some of Springtrap's hacks in the chat. Whoops. What's immortality type 7? Basically, if you're dead, you can't die again. Listing off these hexes. You know what? I'll just keep this playing.
Reached a smaller group of 6, where they all vowed to not kill each other, much to Junko's chagrin. So she faked a whole case to end up killing another person, with Makoto Naegi taking the fall.
Though Makoto is the ultimate lucky student, so he survived his execution and alongside Kyoko, the ultimate detective, figured out the whole gosh darn thing, revealing Junko as the true mastermind of the killing game.
With her cornered and on the edge of despair, Junko felt the most glee of her entire life, forcing herself to endure every execution she had committed in that killing game. And she survived all of them, except for the very last one, being crushed to death.
But that wasn't the end of Junko.
They are.
From it.
I'm just
With her
not pulling
AI
them up.
self working to control Monokuma units around the world, and Makoto and the gang working to bring back hope to counteract the despair Junko had unraveled, freeing the remnants of despair from their brainwashing and saving the world.
In spite of failing in the end, Junko truly succeeded, bringing the world around her to despair and ultimately dying to it. And if that doesn't speak to the character of Junko Enoshima, what else does?
All right, real quick. I'm pulling up his axes. Oh my god. All right, here's some of them. Here's some of Springtrap's hexes. She literally has no counters for these. He also has dream manipulation or nightmare induction. Anyways, yeah. He's straight level, and unfortunately, he does not solo Junko. As I was talking about, in FNAF World, he obviously fights the creator, Scott Cawthon, who created the entire game, views it as fiction, which includes characters who transcend space-time, 5D to 6D. As for speed, he can dodge lasers to relativistic speeds. He nags. There's also skilling from the books about the agony.
This episode of Realm of Gods is sponsored by us. We host a podcast every Sunday.
I do not give a shit about you biased fuckers.
Lastly, check out our Discord server, where we host daily matchup discussions and more. Thanks for listening, and thanks for watching. Back to the show.
Potentially.
Will Afton spring a victory against the ultimate despair, or will Junko crush this last remnant of agony?
You all voted for it. And
References to
finally
rap
here.
battles.
Let's find out in the fight.
Yeah, it was a rap battle. Get ready for peak animation. This animation's peak, but yeah.
Look at this place. So dusty, so crusty, so last decade. I mean, killer robots in a pizza joint? How original. Time to tear down this.
They quite literally invented that. FNAF.
Truly despair-inducing.
Here's my boy!
What the hell are you supposed to be?
Your worst agony.
Facts.
Oh, the despair. Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Let me guess, he dies. Even though he can't die. I'm sorry, but Junko just straight up has no real way of killing Afton permanently.
I always come back.
That's even better. I'll make you into my own personal weapon of despair.
Holy shit. Did we just let a mass murderer use another mass murderer as a puppet for more mass murder?
Don't think about it too much.
So, this fight was complicated to say the least. Both of these.
This fight is a stomp. Springtrap outscales and outhacks badly. And then they just ramble about how they think Junko wins. All right, let me pull up the stuff for Springtrap. Oh, never mind. Agony is not metaphysical. It's beyond physical notation. In FNAF, it's beyond physical notation. And there's also FNAF also just straight up has Outer, Tier 0, whatever. And FNAF has a Type 4 multiverse because Scott said something about, hold on. I can pull up some guy scaling for the FNAF cosmology. Hello, Ghosty. You just missed a peak animation. To answer Rexy's question, yeah, we can. Yeah, we can watch something for the last bit, but basically the stream was just talking about the situation, watching their bull crap, and showing stuff for Springtrap. Let me pull up the clip before we get. I'm instead of showing the cosmology, I'm just gonna pull up the clip where Scott said FNAF World is canon. Do. So, let me try that again. Yes, I will do that, Rexy, in a minute. Ah! All right. This stream is dog shit. All right. Duh.
Or I should have,
Yeah.
made something like, Foxy Fighters. I should have just done something that was obviously for fun and not tried to somehow tie it in to a canon game.
So what Scott said is that he basically tied in FNAF World to a canon game, which is backed up by the fact that there's multiple references to FNAF World in other canon games. And basically, happiest day. That's the whole premise of FNAF World, is happiest day. So yeah, the scaling I mentioned, I have scans for that. Yeah. Springtrap next, Junko. That's what we learned today. Don't trust biased people, folks. Yeah, I'll watch one of your videos. Since you used comp. I know your death battles are made for fun. Junko is just human level. I mean, I've seen stuff saying otherwise, but okay.
SCP-096, Anomaly 358.
This was made by this guy, by the way, in the chat.
These two will make you wish they never exited their containment.
We are doing this battle right now. This is not a fair fight.
I've seen this already. I'm not gonna say stuff about this as of right now. Funny. He probably does, but I'm not gonna get into it. I'm not gonna debate that. I'm done.
Wait, what?
I just want to let everyone know that this is every version of Anomaly 358.
Except the Terra one.
Combined into one, not counting my version.
Exactly.
Let's see why Anomaly 358 won. First of all, speed definitely goes to SCP-096. Anomaly 358 is fast, but SCP-096 is way faster. Now, strength. You may think SCP-096 should get this, but Anomaly 358 scales higher than people who can literally destroy universes. Anomaly 358 gets this. Anomaly
My scan, by the way.
Bro, his hand can literally Absorb heat. SCP-096 to get stamina for obvious reasons. Anomaly 358 has been in like a million fights, and SCP-096 doesn't really, well, learn anything, so Anomaly 358 easily wins experience. So, today's winner is Anomaly 358.
What a way to end the stream. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Me discussing about my problems with versus shows, about the Realm of God situation, and basically how biased they were. Anyways, I think that's it. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Adios.